Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Musyoka TV, which is your number one online political channel. Today, I want to ask you this simple question because it is going to make our basis of our discussion. And the question is very simple. Can Rigathi Gachagua make Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to be the president of this republic? That is what I want us to have as a candid talk this morning, because it is now very obvious that for Rigathi Gachagua, the person who wants to be the presidential aspirant for the opposition side is not other than Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. Because in the side of opposition, we have been seeing two potential people who can actually be candidates for presidency. And those two people who have been on the limelight is Fred Okengo and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And that is why you have been seeing that very many opinion polls have been done. But between these two people, it is Fred Okengo who has been on the lead when opinion polls have been conducted. But he is not the favorite for Rigathi Gachagua. The person who is favorite for Rigathi Gachagua is Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, because Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka has always helped Rigathi Gachagua, and mostly when he was being impeached by President William Samoei Arap Ruto, the wiper stood with Rigathi Gachagua until the end, when other leaders actually deserted Rigathi Gachagua. And that is why Rigathi Gachagua feels that I must return the favor to my friend Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And that is why I've asked that simple question. Can Rigathi Gachagua deliver to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka so that he can become the president of this republic? That is actually what we want us to have a candid discussion about. But before we dive in, I could request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And also, whenever you subscribe to this YouTube channel, always make sure to hit the notification bell. Because once you hit the notification bell, you actually give YouTube permission so that you can get notified whenever we upload any political content into YouTube. And for those ones who have actually been watching our videos and they have subscribed to this YouTube channel, I always say thank you, because you are behind our inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. Now, let us go back to our discussion. Can Rigathi Gachagua be able to make Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to be the president of this nation? For me, the answer is very clear, that Rigathi himself cannot do that noble goal. He needs other people. And the answer is very clear, let me explain why I believe that Rigathi Gachagua cannot actually make Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to step at presidency and he becomes successful. Let us now talk about Rigathi Gachagua, political arsenal. Rigathi Gachagua has always been saying that he is the kingpin of Mount Kenya. And people have accepted to that sincerely, he is the kingpin of Mount Kenya for actually nearly a year. And he has fought that fight very well. And that means he controls the chunk of votes in Mount Kenya. But there is this moving cloud of Fred Okengo and the influence of the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta in Mount Kenya. And if this crowd will continue moving across Mount Kenya, then the number of votes that Rigathi Gachagua has will be lowered, because you will find that some votes in Mount Kenya will go definitely to Fred Okengo Matiang'i, and other votes are going to go to the current president, William Samoei Arap Ruto, because he has an influence within Mount Kenya, even if it might be minimal. So if you combine those minimal votes for William Samoei Ruto, and then you combine the votes for Fred Okengo Matiang'i and the influence of the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, then you will find that will be huge. You will find that in Mount Kenya, where we have almost 5 million votes, you will find that probably 2 million or 2 point something million of votes are gone. And that is why I feel that Rigathi Gachagua himself as a person cannot help Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to step at presidency and win. And in another instance, I can say that Rigathi Gachagua has not spread his influence outside Mount Kenya. He has that influence within Mount Kenya as a region. He has not moved out. If Rigathi Gachagua was to have a huge influence, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, if Rigathi Gachagua was to be seen as a national leader, a person who is capable to influence other regions within this republic, then we had that chance of saying that Rigathi Gachagua can actually make Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to step at presidency and win the presidency. But now that is not the case, because we see Rigathi Gachagua as a tribal kingpin, as a person who has the influence within Mount Kenya. And that is why I've always told people that if there is an alliance between Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua, without the influence of other political leaders like Fred Okengo Matiang'i, then I can say for sure that Rigathi Gachagua cannot deliver presidency for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. So the answer is very clear that Rigathi Gachagua, as a political leader, he cannot help Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to stop at the presidency and win. And therefore, in conclusion, for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to have a huge political influence, he must know how to build a coalition which is capable to make him to win. And that coalition must have Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka himself being in that coalition, Rigathi Gachagua being in that coalition, and also Fred Okemo Matiang'i must also be tapped in that coalition. And that is when we can say that the influence of that coalition, if they agree to embark on Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka presidency, then we can say that they can be capable to deliver presidency for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. But if it is Rigathi himself and his DCP, then I am very sure that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka cannot see the gate of State House. What do you have to say about all this? Do you believe that Rigathi Gachagua can deliver presidency for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this was your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and also request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And whenever you do subscription, always make sure to hit the notification bell, because by doing that, you will give YouTube permission so that you can get notified whenever we upload any political content into YouTube. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to our YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you. May God bless you all abundantly, because you always give me that inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And with that, I say thank you and may God bless you all abundantly. Goodbye.